Welcome to the podcast that's been named one of the very best in marketing research. Research Business Daily Report is this industry's only daily research video. And it's made possible by RBDR's exclusive community at the crowdfunding platform, patreon.com/RBDR. I'm Bob Lederer, for more than 25 years, the respected voice in market research. Our series entitled Market Research in the COVID-19 Era continues again today. This is episode number 15. And you'll hear from RBDR Paine, whose decades of carefully built expertise in communications and public relations has justifiably earned her the title Measurement Queen. She's going to present a couple of specific recommendations for all of you out there as you work and sell your research wares and use them as well. KD?
In my belief, the people that will succeed are going to have to test and experiment and be flexible. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is the fact that there is, normally when somebody says, how do I know whether something's working? I say, well, go back and look at something else you've done and compare it to this. And if it's, if your results are better, you've got something to compare it to. But we've never been in a situation like this. I mean, none of us have lived through the Great Depression. This isn't like the recession or 9/11 or anything else, because it's a completely different animal. So whatever data you had from 2 or 3 years ago is probably not going to be terribly relevant. So you're going to have to just try things and test and set up realistic goals. I mean, one of the things that I love are people that are doing that, right? I mean, so Georgia Pacific's a great example, because what they did was they had very clear objectives for being very proactive in social media, specifically on LinkedIn. They filmed video, they have been posting blogs, they've been doing all this stuff. They've been measuring everything to see if their messages are getting out. Their message, the classic example was the fact that she said, I've been waiting my whole life for toilet paper to be important. So they were ready their whole lives to be talking about toilet paper. But that wasn't the point. The point was to renew trust in the brand that, yes, in fact, it was getting out the door and filling the shelves. So they did that. They had very specific measures. They measured it. It worked. They're doing more of it. That's kind of what you have to do. I mean, it's when you put these emails out to people, as I do, I look very carefully at what makes people click, what doesn't click, what they don't click on. I'm looking at traffic to the websites, traffic to specific URLs. I mean, I'm behaving like a publisher in that I'm looking to see what headlines people are looking at. Is it driving them to do anything more, like subscribe to something? And so it makes measurement more important than ever, but it's not what I would normally say, you need to do a longitudinal study is to see whether this is working or not. You don't have that option. You're going to look at things in little, bites. My philosophy about what a company or a brand should do or not do from the perspective of public relations in a crisis. And this is based on a ton I have to give a lot of credit to a lot of really good researchers at BU and Texas A&M and all over the place that have done, and a lot of them, believe it or not, one of the best places of research in a crisis is the Public Affairs Officer Master Program at San Diego State, because they take people, and if you think about it, in the military, right, think about and I literally talked to him yesterday, the head of public affairs for the Department of the Navy, right? Think about what a week he's at. Right? Well, public affairs officers go through weeks like we're having all the time, right? They have this huge thing that they have to be responsible for, and it's people and they act irresponsibly all the time. They're always doing things. So they're used to having a crisis a day. So they do a lot of expectation on what works and what doesn't work. And it turns out that, when you have things that are consistent with what your brand stands for, they enhance your ability, even if it's, making money. I mean, in other words, I use the example of, if you're a hotel chain, you don't have any business, you're giving your hotel to healthcare workers or, homeless shelter or whatever you're doing, or patients. That's consistent with what you do, and therefore it's going to enhance your brand. If they gave unused food to food banks, that might also be okay, but it's a little, but a restaurant giving unused food to food banks works. When you go out of your lane, right, like sports companies giving food away, it makes people stop and go, why are they doing that, right? So it decreases your credibility. Be human, be authentic, be transparent. And the more, the kids in the background of your Zoom conference, don't worry about it, right? That makes you human, right? Crying on air, on whatever, authentic, right? I mean, don't fake it. But I mean, if you get choked up, look at Andrew Cuomo. I mean, he's letting it all hang out, and he's got more credibility than probably any other politician in America, right?
If you have not yet reached out to us with your personal perspective or multiple perspectives about the impact of the coronavirus on you and your business, well, alternatively, you might also talk to us about what your company is doing in this current situation. In either event, please partner with us for this series, and you can do so by emailing your point of view to rflbob@gmail.com, and you can be sure we will make it extremely easy for you to become a participant. That's your Research Business Daily Report. It's been made possible by the exclusive community we have at the crowdfunding platform patreon.com/RBDR. The one logical conclusion we came up with, considering the very large number of research executives who continuously watch RBDR, is that this video's average 4 to 5 minute video length is perceived by viewers as time well spent. And that includes those where the video might run a little bit longer than that, which is true today. Our thanks to FlexMR, which became our newest RBDR patron last week, and we please ask you to visit patreon.com/RBDR so that you too can join our growing list of publicly appreciative supporters. We're going to continue our series every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday until the coronavirus crisis is no longer a research factor. So, have a great research day, stay healthy, and we'll see you back here with us tomorrow.